What's up, nerds? It's your boy, the OGGM, coming to you live, 8:42 in the morning on this, the 14th day of the year, 2023, in the month of November. It is bright and sunny and lovely outside, despite the fact that weather report says that there's a 60% chance of rain. Sometimes I wonder about the algorithm. Oh, we need to be worried about the AI's take over. Yeah, really? Yeah, I can't even look outside the window and go, yep, it's sunny. It's Tuesday, and on Tuesday we look at toys, specifically tabletop skirmish figure type game toys like Warhammer. And a couple weeks ago I asked if there are other games people wanted me to work out besides Warhammer, because the only ones I knew about were Warhammer and Bolt Action and HeroClix. So I don't really know anything about this part of the world. Whenever I want to find out about what's going on in the tabletop skirmish game market, I go over to DM James and listen to him, because he is the expert on this stuff, in that, you know, he's the only one I know of that covers this stuff on a regular basis that I consider a associate. So yeah, if you want to find out what's going on in the world of this aspect of the hobby, I highly recommend going over to DM James, link down below. DM James suggested Frostgrave. Actually, he gave me a list. Frostgrave was on the top of the list. So let's take a look at Frostgrave. Frostgrave is a tabletop skirmish game similar to Warhammer, but it's from the company called Osprey Publishing, Osprey Games. If that name sounds familiar, you have probably at some point in your time seen in a bookstore the Osprey series of history books, which are great source books for anything. You know, they just little chunks of history. They're little teeny white books with, like, you know, Osprey Publishing, Vikings, and you have a little drawing of like Vikings on the cover, and then you flip through it and it's got all sorts of information on Vikings in it. They are an amazing source book. I rate them in the top 3 source books for just role playing, along with the GURPS source books. But apparently they also occasionally dabble in the world of tabletop role playing and miniature skirmish game. And they have a miniature skirmish game called Frostgrave. What is Frostgrave? Other than apparently it's probably something to do with ice. So is there a... Okay, so Frostgrave 2nd edition is the most current one. Fantasy wargaming in a frozen city by Joseph McClure. Illustrator's name is A, capital R, capital U, capital M, capital O, capital R, more. And also Sean Hensley has something to do with it. It is $35 for the basic rules, which is pretty reasonable. Choose a wizard from one of 10 schools of magic and select from a list of 80 spells. Hire a warband filled with soldiers, from lowly thugs and thieves to mighty knights and barbarians, and lead your men into the frozen ruins of the magic city of Frostgrave, on the hunt for ancient treasures and secrets of lost magic. Be warned, it's a deadly place filled with rival wizards, wandering monsters, animated constructs, and demonic entities. Do you dare enter the frozen city one more time? And that's it. The game came out in 2020 from Osprey. It's miniature skirmish, so you've got one commander and then units that follow the commander. Seems to be mostly humanoid, city-based, and let's see, Discover. Maybe there's more information on the Discover page. No, we got some links for quick reference and character sheets. Then we got Stargrave, which we'll cover on next time. Yeah, I would like some pictures of the figures, please. Okay, here is a Bell of the Lost Souls article on one of the Stargrave units. This is the Fireheart expansion. This was published, doesn't say. So this is the cover of the Fireheart expansion. It's got a mech holding a woman, or maybe a man. I don't know. I think a woman, and getting shot by arrows. The mech is made of wood. I guess they couldn't afford stones. They're like, yeah, wood, a wood golem. That's really effective as long as they don't have fire. Yeah, fire. Yeah, I mean, fire. What's fire on the battlefield? We've got a picture of one of the units. These are apparently dog constructs. This one looks like a iron plate dog construct, and looks like maybe a wood construct. Then we've got some more teeny friend constructs. These are all like puppets. These are like cool and frightening. With that guy right there. Wow, that guy's just little nightmare fueled jester marionette, little wooden soldier, little wooden golem, little steam powered golem, and a little automated fly golem, all to terrorize people with. Here are female wizard and apprentice figure. Oh, that's the girl from up here. Guess she's important. So I guess this is the wizard and this is the apprentice. Or maybe this is the wizard and this is the apprentice. One of these is a wizard. One of these is an apprentice. Here's some art. I guess this is the same person because she's got the nose thing going on. And she's a cyborg. Then we got some barbarians. And this is what the some of the units look like. Oh, there's a little pumpkin unit. I like those guys. And okay, that's all I could find on those. Let's see if we do a search on Frostgrave. We can find anything more about it. Images. Well, definitely the site is not as informative as the Games Workshop site. I still don't know a lot about the game or the news or the units other than what I can guess from what I read is you get a single commander and an amount of points to divide by followers for the commander, but the commander seems to be, reminds me a lot of Hordes, where you get a commander and then you get subordinates to the commander. The commander is your main thing, at least in theory. I suppose you don't have to put all your points in the commander, but most people I would think do. And then your commander has units they can field depending upon how many points you want to invest in the units. You could just put a lot of points into a few big units or spread them out evenly through several smaller units, or spread them out even further and go with like the cheapest units you can find. And all the units, you probably have themes, and probably all the themes are vaguely associated with snow. So it's not, it's something we've seen before if you follow this aspect of the hobby. And I'm sure there's cards involved for the spells, and then you want to pick the right cards, battlefield control, whatever. You probably want a theme, like, all one specific unit will look vaguely like World War II Russian or World War II fantasy Russia, because snow, you got to have at least one unit that's vaguely based upon Russia. Let's see if we got some art here. It will help us better understand this. Frostgrave Bing images. We're going to have to get DM James to come on and tell us about Frostgrave. All right, here we go. Oh, look, there's some guy's back. That tells me, yeah, okay, next. Terrain, ice, fantasy, giant bell, D6 system. Okay, so these are, you could use these for D&D. Ooh, that's cool. I like that. Kobold. Vaguely medieval men-at-arms. Female barbarian. Undead. Guys fighting on a statue. So it's more small unit skirmish, as opposed to lots of, like a Warhammer, you might have 20, 30, 40, 50 figures in your army. This is more like, 5, 10. It feels like smaller units, slightly less expensive. Doesn't look like the figures look like they come in all one solid piece, so you don't have to put them together. I'm Gandalf. How'd you show up here? I don't know. I show up everywhere. Why does Gandalf sound like Deckard Cain? Why not? That's my Gandalf voice. Okay. Fantasy, medieval, Hollywood fantasy, medieval. Definitely Eastern European, fantastic Eastern European feel to it because of all the ice and snow and Vikings and just that part of the world. Germany, Czechoslovakia. But there's somebody in here named Burgermeister. Okay. So that is Frostgrave, or what little I know about Frostgrave. So if anybody knows anything more about Frostgrave or knows of a better site to take a look at Frostgrave besides the one we just looked at, let me know. Otherwise, I'll have to toss some Q&A at DM James to tell me more about Frostgrave and the best way to find Frostgrave news updates for anybody who plays Frostgrave. If you play Frostgrave, let me know. If you don't play Frostgrave, let me know. If you haven't checked out my friend DM James yet, check out DM James, link down below. If you haven't subscribed to me yet, please give a moment of your time to subscribe because we can still do it. We can still hit 2,000 subs by the end of the year. That's been my goal for a while now. Let's see if we can have it happen. I'd be very happy if it did. I don't get anything for having 2,000 subs. It's not like there's a prize. It just would be nice. Okay, see y'all later. Have a great Tuesday. Stay safe out there because